Oh, mad.
Good morning, coffee moaners. I just said to Mark. Good morning, coffee moaners. I just said to Mark, what the hell is this? Pure alcohol. Now, those of you that watch us regularly know that I've told him a million times I've put it in a nice glass bottle. This will stay out all day now on the table.
It will go away straight after this. I couldn't find the nice Grolsch bottle.
In there.
Do you remember Grolsch bottles?
Yes.
When they first came out, it was so exciting. Do you remember? You'd buy a bottle of Grolsch and everyone would be obsessed with the kind of...
So nice.
The idea that you had to do it yourself.
Things that would be kept.
Yeah. How is everyone? Hi,
so
guys.
we've missed you. Obviously,
really missed
if you're new to this channel and you've just popped up here, you won't even know anything about us. So when we witter on about ourselves, please forgive us. But to our regulars who see us every day, it's been a weird few days, hasn't it? Because you haven't seen us at all and we haven't seen you. And that's not nice. We've had this weird COVID stroke flu, who knows what it is. It's bloody horrible.
I haven't seen you guys since Wednesday. You did the cook along on Friday.
Mark couldn't even do the members cook along. No. Dean and I had to film it. Thank you those who stayed with us. It was a bit carnage, but straight after that I went down, didn't I? Went down, could not get back up. I slept on and off fitful sleep for 24 hours. I've never done that in my life.
You had one day where I had to
didn't have a drink, didn't eat. Nothing. But I have to say again, homeopathy, pass me that book, is our friend in this house. With all of modern medicine, they still haven't come up with a cure for the flu or for a cold.
It's definitely COVID. I had weird moments where I felt like let's stick with this analogy for a minute. I felt like my body was like a Casio keyboard from the 80s and a really angry ogre was playing the tunes. And every now and then it was like a sharp pain in my shin, my shoulder or in my bicep. And then in my rib, it was like someone was going, and that was then accompanied by cough and so weird.
It was so weird. And a bit like COVID, where so we've pulled ourselves up to do this, and we'll be doing a Gaza video after this, and then we'll probably collapse again because it's one of those where it just keeps. I said to Mark, he's not allowed to suddenly do a bloody Joe Wixon tomorrow.
Darling,
you cannot.
When do I not do a Joe Wixon? I was bedridden for 2 days. Nadia was like, but you never don't get. I will push myself out of bed at the best of time. I couldn't. Body was like, not here.
Lester can't smell anything or taste anything for over a month because I can't. I'm hoping this is just going to lift.
Oh God, I had a zingy tongue yesterday. I had a really sort of sharp zingy tongue. I had a date.
Yeah.
I had a date and it nearly blew my mouth
off. Our homeopathy has really helped us through it.
Couple of things though I do want to say, Zoe, we were messaging each other about this. We did get a chance to watch stuff, though I have to say one of the horrible parts of this illness was an inability to even really listen to things for long. It was such restlessness of mind, not just body. But we watched
so boring
2 series. I nearly finished 2 series. We watched Sirens, Julianne Moore.
I love Julianne Moore.
Odd series. And sorry, I just felt like I was going to belch so loudly. I got rid of it.
Oh, good. Yeah. You didn't need to share that.
And the other one, which we are loving, is 4 Seasons.
It's so funny. Honestly, it's a real treat. I do think you have to have been in a long-term relationship to get it. Because it is very much about marriage or a long-term relationship and the way that it just can fizzle away.
Gay relationships.
I had to stop Mark halfway through episode 3 because he kept going, just like us. And I went, if you think our marriage is as bad as this, then we should give up.
So I promptly shut up. It's based on a film by Alan Alda, and I just need to share. I fucking love Alan Alda.
So do I. I always have.
Oh my God!
And he
MASH?
wrote such a beautiful thing the other day that Mark shared with me, all about how his mother was a schizophrenic and how he thinks that helped him with all his brilliant improv and everything. Well, yeah. No, but absolutely, because he would have had to learn how to duck and dive different situations.
And that's what he said. He said he had to adapt to improvisationally her reality to keep himself safe. Incredible. I found that such an interesting thing of, oh my God, what trauma can hardwire into you and feed your craft. Wow.
Who was that who said they watched it? somebody there said they watched 4 seasons, all of it yesterday. Who's that? I didn't see.
No spoilers for Virgin Island. Haven't watched the last one yet. You've got no spoilers here. Every time we go towards
we try. We can only watch it via Gogglebox.
I made a hugely disappointing decision. I watched Open House. Has anyone watched that? I came out.
All you ever do is watch Open House.
No. I watched Open House on Friday because I was like restless and I needed something. I felt sick. I felt like I was going to be sick.
What's the second season?
Of what?
Is it? What? 4 seasons? Have we missed the first season?
So the first season.
Oh, don't say we missed the first season.
Fucking hell.
Oh no. Well, we'll have to go back. But Sirens, I enjoyed that. It was a bit sort of like it's sort of good crap TV. It was good crap.
I said to Zoe, Sirens is like White Lotus meets. Oh God, what was the other thing that I said? Zoe, remind me. There was White Lotus meets something that we've all been watching.
I've been watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I'm not the biggest reality fan, but I'm so into it. Well, Emma, we played a bit of it on Loose Women on Friday.
We started that series.
And I came back and said to Mark, how have we missed Mormon's Life Saves Wives or whatever it is? How have we not seen that? And it goes with tears. I was like, oh, right, okay. So what are we going to be talking about? Russ
makes a really good point. Just quickly, I watch Open House. They must be being paid to be on that program. I thought that, especially when the guy in one episode said, "Yeah, I'm here because my penis is too small."
No,
and I thought,
did he?
Yeah, no, you didn't see this one.
I think
you didn't see it.
I think because I haven't seen even because it's when I fall asleep.
So he runs around. So he's a naturist nudist who never reveals his penis because he's worried about the size of it.
Oh,
no, I know. So I felt for him. He was in a double bind.
But I suppose the best way to deal with that is to just like face it, isn't it?
He tried. Yes,
it's a bit like me with my cellulite. When I did that cellulite film years and years and years ago, my first cellulite film.
That's it, Bridgerton and White Lotus. That is what Sirens is like.
Yeah, I did that cellulite film. Do you remember? I made you film it. We were on holiday. Cellulitis. But actually, he's so lovely about my cellulite.
I found it quite erotic.
He even finds my cellulite thing. But
do you know what I do for cheap thrills? I go on
stop because my mum might be watching.
Sorry, Betty.
But it was so freeing because after that, I just thought, do you know what? It's so exhausting, not exhausting. It's so mentally wearing to constantly be trying to hide something about yourself. You know, it's just like, oh, fuck's sake. I wish I'd done it 20 years ago. Mind you, I probably didn't have sold out 20 years ago. But anyway, I digress. So we are going to be doing a separate Gaza video. We don't want you to think we're ignoring Gaza today. And some of you may be relieved because some of you might think, oh, God, I can't bear to hear them talk about Gaza again, which we do also recognise. But things are very, 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 very awful out there. So we're going to be doing a separate video on it. So today we're going to be talking about the horror story in Liverpool, absolute horror story. My God. We're going to be talking about the miscarriage police and the Macron slap.
Or was it a joke? Was it just a joke?
And also, we've got to play you a video of Trump banging on about Putin because it's just hilarious stroke terrifying, like everything is with Trump. And also, we've got a great, funny wedding video to show you. Did you watch it to the end?
No.
It's great. Yeah. It's a bit blurry, but it's so good. And also, we've got, you know me, I love babies. We love kids. And so does Miss Rachel.
We love Miss Rachel.
We've only discovered Miss Rachel through Gaza and through her huge human heart. But actually, when I talk to my friends who have kids, they all go, oh my God, Miss Rachel is everything.
Yeah, she's everything.
So Natasha and Krista, you will love this video as well.
What we're going to lead with is obviously the top news story at the moment is the Liverpool car ran. This is the Liverpool football celebrations. Really, as Nadia says, there's not much to say other than how awful it was.
And also, I just wondered how people heard about this because I always find it interesting the way news comes to us these days. So it was, I was on Instagram and something popped up from Jeremy Corbyn and he said to Liverpool, and it was this really like serious, like Liverpool, you was close to Mark. What the hell's happened with Liverpool? And then of course Mark was on the story and it's just that slow realization as we go into horror, but also I'm glad I'm not desensitized. I'm glad I'm not. Because it was just so shocking and horrific. And then you go to, my God, there's so many shocking and horrific things. And I think, and each time I'm shocked and horrified.
Yeah.
It's our kids. It's the generation down from us that I worry about, because we grew up for so long not seeing so much horror.
There's a massive
so
desensitization to
yeah.
so many aspects of the news. And I think it happens with every news story. It's one of the big challenges of keeping people engaged. With Gaza, I can think of, in the 80s and 90s, a similar thing crept into the Irish footage. I mean, I remember as a kid, it was just regular as clockwork hearing about Ireland. And
now I'm so angry with the way I heard about Ireland. That's always going to happen.
So what I'm going to do, sorry, something just fell over. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the footage. A 53-year-old white man has been arrested. I think the first thing that in terms of hearing about this, I have alerts on all the news outlets. And so they were all landing rapidly. And the thing that I just can't get my head around, I was talking to Maddie about it this morning, is just this feeling of an increased barbarism everywhere. It's like you hear of this. This has happened in Germany, a fair few markets, this driving of vehicles. There was obviously the well-publicized case of it across London Bridge, and, vans and cars. And there's such a sort of, and I'm sorry to be so specific, the bluntness and everydayness of the car being used as a thing to mow people down. And there are witnesses who talk of hearing the bumps of the car going over people in this instance. God. And you just think, oh my God. I mean, what is going on in these people's heads? Now, this 53-year-old white man, let's just stress that, because for God's sake,
do you remember last
if he
time
wasn't
there was
white,
something
they'd be stressing
when
him.
Certain people immediately posted that it was a terror attack, and they wouldn't take those videos down, Julia Hartley-Brewer being one of them.
Yeah.
And apparently it was rife very quickly, terror attack. Listen, terror
is terror.
Terror is terror. So if you're inciting, whoever this man, whatever he was doing, he incited terror yesterday. But we always apply terror with, straight away everyone goes to Islam, and it really makes me so cross. And the same thing was happening yesterday online. But this is a white man, 53 years old. That's all we know about him, and he incited absolute terror yesterday.
They say he was
for
seen.
Whatever reason.
They say he was seen leaving a bar. What I'd like to know is whether parties like Reform, when they hear that a white man in his 50s did this, whether there's ever then a campaign to just stop white men of 50.
I mean, at this point,
doing anything.
And I always say this with every one of these: we have no idea what's going on with this guy. This could be a rageful, horrible piece of shit that got pissed up and got angry and just went out, or it could be somebody that was in a complete mental health derangement. We just don't know. But what we do know is the terrible, terrible suffering of the people. And, we always talk about this, don't we, Mark? The ripple on effect. The people that were 10 people behind,
absolutely.
The people that were in the shop, the paramedics, the journalists, you get the numbers of how many people are in critical, how many people are in hospital, but this just spreads so far and wide, doesn't it?
Well, I know that, for example, there are 3 or 4 children, infants that have been caught up in this who are in hospital. Imagine, and it was a football celebration. They were celebrating the fact that they'd won. I'm just thinking of when I was young, the amount of children, let's just think of the children without even thinking the people who've been hit or casualties, that will have seen something or experienced something so scary that will filter into their everyday lives for the rest of their lives.
Right the way through, anybody that was there.
So I'm now going to show you footage that's come from a number of different sources that's been kind of brought together into one big clip within it, where there is obvious impact moments. It's been blurred out, but it is obviously it's footage. So it's just a trigger warning really for anyone who...
Bravery. People were trying to stop it and smash the windows.
Yeah. So here you go.
Holy oh my God.
We don't even know what. trying to get out. Oh my God, it's really, really, really.
Okay.
This is awful, Matt.
Yeah. I mean, that just gives you quite a visceral, on the ground sense of the carnage. And I have to confess, I know, you know, we're highly critical of the police in many situations. When something, you've got to remember, when something like that kicks off quickly,
they run towards it.
Now, there's lots of questions that are already being asked about how a car got into, you know, there are all sorts of roadblocks and all sorts of things.
Yeah, but he's deranged, isn't he? He's driven through.
I think
whatever.
if anyone wants to get through something badly enough, then they're going to get through something. But you're right, Milk Honey. I think what they were trying to do, the police there, but you know, obviously, was trying to stop him from being pulled apart by the crowd, because I think, you know, everyone had been.
Well, and the thing is, if that had happened, all those people in that crowd would have that did anything to him, we know, would have been taken to court and charged. Absolutely. And that would have just been horrendous, wouldn't it? Because they're all pumped up with the adrenaline. I mean, my God. But you know, the other thing is, around football matches, whether a team wins or loses, the rates of domestic violence go up like crazy.
Well, the rates of domestic violence go up when there's a win. Let's not sugarcoat this. Any football match, if there's a win, rates of domestic violence go up. They just go up slightly less than they do if someone loses. And what's the point about football is, unfortunately, with football, most of the time someone's losing a game.
I wonder if it's because when it wins, they drink even more. We're going to see how much drink. You know, the thing is, like, sometimes when you, like, just a few weeks ago, our precious child nearly got run over. I mean, we were like shaking, weren't we, really, when Mads texted us with this guy who had just decided that he was going to drive like a fucking maniac up the street, right? So this was very, very close. Like, people said to her, God, we can't believe that you survived that kind of thing, wasn't it? And the ramifications through our body that went on and on for days. And that was like a near miss. And but we see that all the time. Round South London, you will see people just get so fucking angry behind their car, behind their wheel, and just like turn and try and bump up on the pavement. And you think, is this that, but like tenfold pumped up with booze? And also, because you do look at it and you think, we've all done it, haven't we? You look at somebody go off and you go, oh my God, he's going to kill.
Yeah, he might not have got in the car with the intention of even necessarily hitting people. No. He was possibly very drunk, getting away from a situation. I mean, all of this, I'm sure, is going to come out. We're gonna.
But it's human nature to try and think, what on earth? It's just human nature. But there's no actual point to doing it because we've got no idea. But this is the water cooler chat, isn't it? We're all going to be going, well, could it have been this? Could it have been that? I get nothing enrages me like when I see somebody just put their foot to the floor and go up a road and you think, you don't give a shit. Little kid could come out on their bike.
Oh no, I look them in the eye. I often look them in the eye when they pull up alongside you at lights.
Well,
they look at you. No, I don't. I just look at them. It's just like, and you see, I hate to say it, there is a lack of humanity in there.
Yeah.
Sarah D, we recognise the juxtaposition is shocking. 4 children injured, horrible, so horrible, uproar and shock. What about the children in Gaza? Where's the shock for that?
Yeah, we are doing a Gaza video after this.
Absolutely. So we're going to move straight into some other footage. This is more arresting footage. This is the footage of Emmanuel Macron and his wife when they landed in Vietnam. Now, obviously, this was yesterday. We would have done it yesterday if we were doing Coffee Moaning. This is dramatic footage. This is interesting. I mean, me and Nadia have been talking about this and kind of chewing over this, haven't we, since yesterday, since seeing it. And we really want you to share with us what it makes you think, what you think might have been at work. Faith Goodman, I'd really like to thank you because you steered us and pointed us towards a body language expert.
Thanks for that.
Who I've gone on to Twitter. I know you watch him on YouTube, but I went to Twitter and they do a breakdown of what this body language expert sort of believes was going on at the time. But we're going to show you the clip. Obviously, it's screen recorded. It's a wide and then it moves into a close.
But just before you do, again, this was something last night that popped up. And I was like, I first looked at it and I went, oh my God. And I was like, I laughed a bit.
I want to make that's a really good look. Zoe, I just want to put this up before we do it. It made me laugh to begin with. And now I'm like, what the fuck?
And then I was like, oh, Mark, I said, Mark, have you seen this thing with Macron? And then when I looked closer, I was like, my God. The hands have gone right in his face and he looks really shocked. I felt really sorry for him.
YouTube says we've seen Nadia do this.
I felt really sorry for him. And then I thought, my God, that's that kind of, this is all supposition. This is classic me. Oh God, that's that sort of 2 glasses of Sauvignon and you've just gone
Definitely
nuts and they've
wine.
just said something and they've got, so we just do not know. But in the end, what I felt when I saw this was actually, I did feel a bit upset for Macron. I thought he looked really shocked.
Well, let's watch it and then let's have this conversation. And the point that I think you're jokingly saying, Mitri, which is interesting, is bear in mind we have lots of, what do they call it, horseplay. Look at us when we've been rolling around on the sofa, pushing each other's note. Okay, they're not rolling around on the floor. I mean, maybe if the door had opened and they were wrestling, that would have been quite funny. But yeah, bear in mind this thought. Years ago, I always use this example of an advert for The Guardian where you see a skinhead running down the street. And it's really clever because you see him running at an old woman and you think, oh my God, he's going to mug her. And then it cuts to another angle and you see that the skinhead is running towards a woman who's beneath scaffolding and he's actually trying to get her out the way. We aren't privy to the full scene. Yeah. This is, I mean,
and his shot could have just been shit. The door's open and she's just slapped me in the face.
This is a really interesting shot from the perspective of the limits of a frame in filming and media and what we
and how things can be misinterpreted.
So check this out.
Yeah, I think the one was like, you don't really see his face at the end there. He's really shocked.
You do. You see that he looks shocked.
He's really shocked, but
this is interesting. What are people's responses? Okay, so Helena B. It made me angry. I saw it on LBC and Sheila. I saw this. Sheila was laughing. It looked like she'd lashed out, but physical violence, if that's what it was. And it looked like it. I shuddered. Faith Goodman, Macron's face afterwards is not messing about.
Yeah.
Christine Beck, Macron. Well, as Nadia said earlier, Macron has to say that. He said they were just having a laugh with each other. I mean, he can hardly say, yes, she was pushing me in the face.
So here's the thing. They could have just been having a laugh together. But if they weren't, I'd say, well, we were just...
But I think it's really important because I think my first response was one of laughter. This is an aspect that I think maybe we're ignoring.
There would be loads of other people on that plane, though.
Yeah, not only that, but I think maybe the reason I didn't apply to it the same severity of men also can be the victims of domestic abuse. And this, I'm not saying this is right, is because I thought, but he's the president of France. That kind of gave him some kind of untouchability.
Yeah, no, it's like when you say, but she was the CEO. She was of a company. And my God, she's petrifying and she was full pack. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work.
Did anyone see? There was a really interesting clip recently, and I couldn't get to the bottom of it, where there was quite a sort of candid sequence. I think Starmer sat down next to Macron. I forget who was on the right. It could have been some guy from Germany, and Macron was in the middle, and he was sort of sat there, and on the table was something that he.
Oh, I've seen that. They've gone on and on about that. Well, they keep saying people tried to make out it was coke. It was a tissue, and he was embarrassed, and he moved it out of the way.
No, I know, but it's like
they tried to make out it had cocaine on the table.
I didn't think that.
No, that was going around like ferociously for days. Yeah, it was ridiculous. He went, he goes, oh, that's a bit of a bogey. Pushed it away, but he looked so suspicious.
This is interesting. Look, Amy says he walked back towards her, but maybe because he realised I think he needed to get out of the shot. He saw that the doors were open.
Awful.
I mean, how awful to open.
I first laughed because I thought, it was a joke. They're mucking about and the door's open. So I thought it was funny. But then when I actually looked at it, I thought...
Well, let's have a look at what this body language person says. So, Jesus Enrique Rosas. This is recommended by Faith Goodman. Body language expert, analysis of Brigitte shoving Emmanuel Macron's face. Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron were arriving Was it an actual aggressive gesture, or was it something else? Let's find out. There's a freeze frame there of him being, it's two-handed. That's an important thing to see. It's a two-handed push. Does that make it less? This is 1 split second before the shoving. This is how we know that Macron didn't expect the gesture, since his body was relaxed. He had a neutral expression and his left-hand wrist was relaxed as well. The 2 stages of the shoveling, I say shoveling because at first I thought it was a slap, but in fact she used both hands. At the peak of the gesture, Macron realizes everyone out there just witnessed the incident. So that's his face turn. Look at his face there on the left.
Well, he's startled.
He's startled and tries to play it cool, greeting. I noticed that he made an unnecessary anchor gesture, putting his left hand on the seat to his left. This is something we do under stress without really leaning or using it as a support. It's obvious that he was startled.
Yeah, and you still could be stressed if you're joking about because everyone's seen it.
They don't get out of the plane immediately. He takes a minute to compose himself. We can see a pacifying gesture of touching his nose. When they're finally going down the stairs, he offers Brigitte his arm, but she ignores him. Oh. Macron still keeps his arm bent for a few more steps until finally giving up. Forgot to mention that upon exiting the plane, Macron gave a handshake to the guy waiting for them and used a dominant handshake, palm down. Maybe he wanted to feel dominant in one way or another after the shove. Better this than shoving Brigitte down the stairs, I guess. Bloody hell. After all the greeting, we have this photo. Macron's left hand is a white knuckle fist, a common sign of concealed anger. His face is also beyond serious. That downward brow is part of his usual body language base. It's not part of his usual. Wow.
I mean, hugely
interesting
embarrassing
the context
for
after
him.
it. They've obviously had a row.
They've had a major row.
They've had a major row.
But, you know, also when you think about it, like, do you remember when you were hitting your mum over the head with that pan?
God, I wondered what you were about to
No,
say.
but you were joking.
Oh, what, when I was
and
holding
everyone
the
was
thing
saying that
behind?
it was elder abuse. And then with me and you, when we fight all the time, people always say I'm beating you up.
Do you remember years ago when we were at Rachel's, I put the sound effect of a bang when I pretended to hit Maddie with a saucepan? Do you remember that? And people went, but we were like, this is
awful. Nearly got cancelled for that.
Okay, I'm only throwing this out there. Does it make any difference? So she's double shoved him in the face. Say if minutes before she's discovered he's been a naughty boy, and she's been like,
crime de passion.
Crime de passion.
We will never know.
The French are full foul of their own sort of sauciness, don't they? Because of that thing.
I mean, we just don't.
No, we don't.
We don't.
Okay.
But we can't help but look, because these people, I mean, Macron, I always find incredibly arrogant and smarmy and like, you know, and when you hear other people talk about Macron that know him, there's always that suggestion that he's a bit like that, big of an egomaniac, So, unfortunately, in the position you're in, people are going to wonder.
Christopher Condell, do you remember when the sun ran it when you hit Mark, when he splashed you in the hot tub?
No.
Yeah. Gave me a right hook. There was no,
that was actually an accident.
It was an accident. And it was jokey and I didn't mind it, honestly. If it was the other way round, says Faith Goodman, then there are excuses. No, not necessarily. No. I just want to share this thought with you. It's an abstract philosophical thought, and I want to get your take on it. By, I forget the name of the actor, but he's this actor who's from The Walking Dead says, I don't trust people who take naps.
He's jealous. Simple as that. That's my analysis. He'd love to have a nap, but he can't. Who is he? I don't even know who he is.
John, whatever his name is, from The Walking Dead.
Nothing makes me happier than when someone has a nap.
Naps. Anyone else?
He's a man who lives under stress and fear. Look at his eyebrows. He needs to fucking have a nap. And we should have played that brilliant viral video where that little boy, his sister's freaking out, and he goes, "Did you take a nap?" And she goes, "No," and he goes, "You need to take a nap." It's my favorite.
Can I just say, John? Thank you, John.
He needs a nap.
John Berntal. This man is so masculine. His hair is encroaching on the few parts of his face that have no hair. It's coming from beneath. I bet he's got
muscles like that he's just ready to pounce all the time. So having a nap,
this man is pure bloke. He doesn't nap.
Now, my sister, Dina, I don't know if she's watching.
Dina
does not like other people being asleep.
No, she doesn't.
And she's been like that since she was a kid. She was so funny because she's an early riser. So she always wanted everyone else to be awake.
That's why she texts us at 6 a.m. Yeah.
I had to say to her, Dina, text me. Don't do the 3 of us WhatsApp group because Mark's usually only fallen asleep 2 hours before.
Yeah, true.
And then she'll
It
be
is
like,
Shane from The
right,
Walking Dead.
where's
Kathy.
my da-da-da? Have you got my... He's like,
Yes, I wouldn't mind doing it actually, but pop a few kisses at the end, and I might take it a little
now
bit.
everybody's here saying what that they like a nap. How do you feel about other people taking
Yes.
a nap? That's the question we need answered.
My granddad
I
used to
love
regularly
it.
have an afternoon nap. Every day he'd have an afternoon nap, and that's when I'd get up to all sorts of badness.
I must say, when I was a kid, I didn't like it if my parents took a
I
nap.
felt abandoned.
You feel a bit lonely.
Felt abandoned. I'd
It's
make more
weird,
and more
isn't
noise
it?
around his feet,
Yeah.
and I would every now and then pull his foot puff
Yeah.
away. So that it
But my girls, they love me so much. They're so sweet.
They like you having
They
a
love
nap.
me having a nap.
They love
So
you having a
go and
nap.
have a sleep, Mum.
They love both of us having a nap because it means
They
we
love
shut
you
the fuck
having a
up.
nap.
Well, it means we're not fucking strategizing all the
No,
time.
because they worry about your eye
Shut
bags.
up. Oh, fuck that
No,
shit.
they do, because they say Dad's got bags and he doesn't sleep enough. They say it to me all the time.
What bags for life?
Bags for life you've got.
I just want to show you something.
You
that's
can have them sucked out, you know.
Babe, do you mind not making
I
me
should
really
take glasses off.
self-conscious?
They seem a bit... They've gone down.
Yeah, because well, I don't know why.
Oh my God,
What?
your
Why?
bags have gone down.
Well, some
But you've
days
got
they're
dark
bad, some
circles.
days they're not bad.
Well, that means they can go then.
All
That
you
means
say
you've got
to me is
sleep
what
more.
isn't looking good rather than what's looking good.
I do always say
No, you
what's
don't. Long
looking
your
wrong.
eyebrows look like a Tory.
How often-
Look at your hair. Look like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
you heard
don't-
what I
you
said
don't-
on Loose Women
you
the
don't-
other
No, I
day.
didn't at all. You said it to me the other day.
It
You
was
don't say
so-
you lead with criticism these
It
days.
was so funny because you know
Oh,
the
here we
video
go.
that we showed you the other day of the American couple when she's insulting him and he's taking it.
Can't remember it.
Anyway, I was saying on Loose Women how I say about your Tory eyebrows.
Yeah, but it'd be nice
and
to
then,
lead
and
with a
then
nice thing.
Jane said, well, the worst ever eyebrows was, what's his name?
Dennis
he was
Healy.
Labour, Dennis Healy. And I was like, yeah, all right. But all the rest of them have got eyebrows that are growing out because they had to say it for balance. I was
Oh,
like, we're not balancing it that way. I'm sorry. More Tory MPs have long eyebrows than Labour's. Anyway, I don't
At least
like
I've got
Labour anymore.
eyebrows. I mean, you know. Fucking hell. Anyway, here's a nice little escape moment. Check these out just for a moment. Little pause. That's my first P&E of the year.
So beautiful.
This is my absolute
These are in our
pride
garden.
and joy.
Stunning.
I've grown these.
Oh, they're just so
Look
beautiful.
at this.
Do you know what
Hang
I've
on,
got to
hang
show
on.
them?
One other one. And look,
Oh, look at that. It looks like it's under the fucking sea with an anemone.
With a testicle. That's disheveled beauty. There you
Right,
go.
guys, I've got to show you this.
Just wanted to show those off.
My mum sent, for my birthday, did those flowers every month thing.
Thank you, Faith.
And look at this flower. I've never seen anything like this in a bunch of flowers. Can you see it's too light? I mean, they're dying now because I can't bear to throw
Very
them
pretty.
away. But aren't they? Look at those.
What is it? Is it kind of daily?
Look at those layers
Yeah,
on
really
layers
pretty.
on layers
Looks like
on
it's made of
layers.
plastic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look. It's so
Just so stunning, aren't they?
really beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah, no, I'm proud of those. Yeah, I you know my poppy obsession. So, Mum, if you watch this, then you'll see.
They give so much joy, those single flowers, though, Mark.
Oh my god!
Don't ever think they don't, because every time
Well,
I go out or I stand
If I hadn't gone out, I'd have missed that beautiful purple one.
it's just stunning.
Anyway, let's show. I'm going to pop this up. This is our other story in the UK. This is the story. Police can now search your home after a miscarriage. Police have been issued with guidance to search women's homes and phones after an unexpected pregnancy loss. This is quite staggering, this news. What the UK police can do, new guidance from the National Police Chiefs Council,
And this
NPCC,
is new guide
from January,
new.
which sets direction for policing across the UK, advises officers to 1, search for drugs that can terminate pregnancy in cases involving stillbirths. 2, seize mobile devices to help investigators establish a woman's knowledge and intention in relation to the pregnancy. 3, check a woman's internet searches.
This is what
messages
terrifies.
to friends and family and health apps, such as menstrual cycle and fertility trackers. And D, bypass usual legal hurdles required to obtain a court order requesting medical records about an abortion or pregnancy loss from NHS hospitals.
When I saw this a few days ago, I was like,
This is The Handmaid's Tale.
it was on Instagram, and I thought, oh God, this is just red meat.
Yes.
Is this something that we've always had, that if there's suspicious circumstances, then we have to, I mean, really, again, even with that search apps, if you are suspected of any wrongdoing, a policeman can search anything, can't they?
Yes.
They can search him.
Well, I'm not entirely sure they can. They
Really?
can. I don't know if they can with your fact. The thing that worries me the most about this is their ability and the permission for them to search your phone, your history. I mean, I think that
conversations.
I think that in any set of
petrifies me,
circumstances,
because we can have so many conversations that could be taken out of context. You know, you could know someone so well that you say something really dark, couldn't you? That would be totally funny, but taken out of context.
yes.
And it's like we keep saying, we have to be so careful at the moment with our freedoms being taken away because we take them for granted. Look at America. Look at America. Look at America. I was giving some of the young people at Loose Women the other day a bit of a mini auntie lecture when I was going, so what do you think about what's going on in America? They go, oh, I'm not really watching it. I was like, listen, guys, I'm going to be dead and gone. This is your future. You need to be engaged with what is going on in America. There's every chance that Farage could get in next time. And Farage is going to be financed by the very same people that are shifting the world in America. You need to know what is going on. And this, you know, let's not forget, it is still not actually technically legal to have an abortion.
No, you still have to get 2 doctors.
You have to get 2 doctors.
Otherwise, it's illegal.
Otherwise, it's illegal. So, and you have to say that you're deranged or that I mean, that's abortions, that's different to this. So we should stick really with miscarriages. But I said to Mark, you know, when you think about that miscarriage that I've told you about, we had a number of miscarriages, that one where I kept the fetus and all of that because I was deranged, really. I was thinking, how could that be could that have been misread? Could that have been? And when you're going through all of that,
Good Ship Lollipop, I'm not going to read it out just in the spirit of just sensitivity to others, but Good Ship Lollipop says something similar.
But you know, you're going through all of that, and then you might have to be investigated and your periods looked at.
I just want to give you a bit more detail on this. The NPC, the police organisation, said that investigators that are looking into the causes of stillbirth and miscarriage should look at digital devices. Which includes fertility and period tracking apps. So this is specific, you know, someone was just asking why are they doing this? It's because if there's a sudden death, a sudden stillbirth, but hang on a minute, miscarriage, this is really quite
sudden
alarming.
Miscarriage is always sudden. What do you mean?
Precisely.
You don't know it's happening. Sometimes you might know it's happening. Sometimes you might not know it's happening.
Feminist commentators, or I forget where Eliza is from. I think she is a representative from. Anyway, this is a commentator.
She's from Cheer Up Love. Follow them on Instagram.
There we go. Thank you. This new police guidance is not only terrifying, it follows an incredibly invasive pattern of policing and criminalizing of women's bodies, fueled by influential anti-abortion groups funded by powerful religious organizations in the US. If we don't act now, we will follow in the US's footsteps of the far-right political overturn of our hard-won rights. This is something that I know that, you know, I mean, this is just petrifying.
And anyone that isn't petrified by that, I want to know why.
I find it really interesting when people are so proud of themselves. I'm not suggesting this is what your person was, but people, when they go, oh, I'm not interested in that, and they sort of trot on, and it's like, and then wonder why some kind of terrible news development laps at their shore, and they go, oh my God.
Because when I was younger, I thought I was just into what I wanted to do and what was going on
we're
for me.
all into that
but things weren't as dangerous then.
But you can do more
things
than one
are
thing.
Dangerous now.
I think people can't multitask in the way they
No, but come on. When you were like in your 20s, you were just, there'd be news stories that interested you, but you weren't across everything in the way that we, not everything, but in as much.
We can't be across everything.
No, you know what I mean. We weren't across as much. I mean, I wasn't across anything. I was like blancmange brain. You know, I was just like moment to moment. Where am I going? What's the boy I'm seeing? When am I getting to the pub? How am I going to buy this pair of shoes that I want to go out this weekend? People aren't taking notice.
We are a victim also of the algorithm. I think we underestimate how much of a victim we are all of the algorithm, because when I was talking to Maddie about, I was saying, you know, how prevalent is the sort of, say, debate about Gaza in amongst your peer group? She said, Dad, so many people, it's not that they don't engage with it. When it comes up, she said, they're not seeing the footage. It's just not being, because they don't look for it, because they haven't seen it.
That's why the media, some people in the media, I think, will eventually be done for war crimes. Because it feels like a bloody cover-up.
Jack Hardy-Healy, was that you wanted? I'm absolutely petrified by this.
Jack, me too.
Hi, Alzaran. Women are not answerable to anyone about the decisions they make about their own bodies.
But
yeah, you're right.
But
shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be. But when we just turn away from things like this without making our voices heard, Very dangerous.
Wow, look, Mel and Abby Reed saying, have you read about the woman in the US who was brain dead at 9 weeks?
I have.
Being kept alive as an incubator.
Yep.
Fucking hell.
9 weeks pregnant, they're going to keep her alive. And then those very people, do they want to help support that child?
Yeah, exactly. Ali Jack, miscarriage is so personal and hidden. So many of us have had to bear the loss alone as a couple and then to potentially criminalize it. I mean, how is our humanitarian lawyer dropping the ball in every conceivable area when it comes to humanitarian law? Where's his humanity?
Well, it was obviously a fake humanitarian lawyer.
I mean, he is literally AI. He is an automaton. Oh, as if, and I just want to share this with you because I'm so sick to death of the way in which we are.
Tale, Kathy.
Yeah, totally Handmaid's Tale. And also, just sorry, I'm going to share something with you that's totally kind of left field. We're coming off this topic now. Everything about our lives is chopped up and turned into industrial fodder. Budget airlines are looking into these.
Oh, we did that on Friday.
They're looking into launching standing seats next year. So the one moment of the year that the system says to you, yeah, you can have a bit of fun as long as you spend a fortune, we're going to make you stand and hold on to a pole.
I don't agree with you on this.
I think this is the streamlining of even downtime, turning us into babe, it's about making more money.
No, but if we don't know what the prices of those are going to be, to me, it's like, we're at a stage in our life where we just go, no, sorry, I'm not going to do that if I can't afford a full seat. But when you're younger, like I now look at people that pay for standing room in theatre and they're like gods to me. I'm like, how can you stand and watch? But when you're younger and it's the only way you can do stuff, it's good. It's a good idea.
Profits, MeTubes. It's about profits.
It's about profits, but it's also about giving. It's all yes, of course. For the company, it's only about profits.
Only about profits.
But a lot of people that cannot afford to go on holiday, maybe this is going to be more affordable.
Yeah, but no, okay. But what you're saying is essentially, but then those people are going to go on holiday. It's going to be an even more lackluster, unrewarding process of getting there. And when you get there, most people in the country of your destination don't want you there because you've destroyed the environment. But the very, very process of holidaying, which is we've been sold a pup in every department of our lives, and holidaying, I think, is one of the biggest fucking jokes. It's a lie. It's a carrot and a stick. It's it's your moment of your life where you can go, where all the prices go through the roof. Everything's fucking dynamically priced. You get there. Everyone else is there. Everything is fucked. Everything is ruined. And now what they're saying is for the joy, we'll charge you a little bit less, but they'll end up probably charging you more for what you eat or drink. Precisely. To stand. Go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. I'd rather fucking everyone goes down to Hastings. I just think it's just so illustrative of how we are all enslaved, and we buy it with little semi-justifications of, it makes sense, it makes it. No, it doesn't. It's so Ryanair can make even more fucking money.
Ryanair seats are so uncomfortable. I actually looked at it and thought, I might prefer that to be standing, to be honest. I mean, I get very trapped. Maybe it's my ADHD thing. I absolutely hate sitting on an airplane seat. I can't, So I would probably have a standing seat.
Yeah.
I said that on Friday. Everybody's women like me. I said, probably. Because I can't bear it, can I? I'm terrible. I'm shifting and I can't sit still. Look at that huge bird about to shit on that cushion.
Oh, yeah.
That's a jay, isn't it?
It's called a magpie, darling.
It's got blue.
No, it's a magpie. Yeah, they do. They have a sort of oily blue feather. Let's just, for a bit of a laugh, though, let's face it, it's not funny because it's the end of the world.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Mr. President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake.
He's gone on his
maniac.
But on his Trump social, did you see his Memorial Day? He said, "Happy Memorial Day." Apart from the scumbags that have destroyed this country, it's not president. I mean,
it's so awful.
Let me just pause there. It's not presidential. But I'm going to say something really contrarian here. He's a fucking lunatic. I am sick of the totally fake non-specific, generic nonsense. Like if the president goes, "Happy Memorial Day, America, we love you," fuck off. Doesn't mean I'd rather actually see a message by a president that goes, "Happy Memorial Day," apart from to the scumbags who I can't fucking stand. No, I'm sorry.
No,
I do.
Barbarian.
No, he is a barbarian, and everything about him is worrying. But
no, listen.
Why
you can have an opposite thought without having to go that way. The thing is, we would just like more truth and more honesty. You know, that's what we would like. We'd like more reality. Like now, Labour trying to morph a little bit into Farage is just so sickening. I just can't bear to watch and listen. It's like, who are you? What do you stand for? The first thing you did, Labour, was come out and do the fuel thing. I didn't realise the ceiling was 11,000 a year to get fuel benefits. That's nothing. How does it
on that?
Well, because what we're talking about is fake. You know, what you're saying is we want politicians that speak straight.
Right.
Well, we don't want politicians that speak straight, maniacal.
No, I agree. No, I agree. But this is where, and I hate to say it, we can't sit here, all of us, kind of crying and wringing our hands over Trump and Farage, who, like them or loathe them, are authentic to themselves. I was saying this, we were talking about this earlier.
Authentic to their own evil.
Authentic to their own selfish, self-centered, certain type of vision of the world, racist, all these things. We need someone politically on the left or in the centre
who's authentic
in everything they say, not a rabbit caught in headlights.
No, I mean Farage and Trump are authentic to themselves. It's just themselves are awful.
But that authenticity is what people love. Yeah,
I mean, I was laughing listening to Farage. Apparently, he's about to give this blistering attack to Starmer today, and he's going to say, "What do you know about working people? What do you know about getting at 4:30 in the morning? What do you know about not paying your bills?" Farage, we know you. I've just realised something. You know, me and him would have been at the same parties. We're exactly the same age.
You're not suggesting he did that thing with the melon.
He went to Dulwich College. We're exactly the same age, and I used to go to all the Dulwich College bloody parties.
But you wouldn't have been drawn to a goose-stepping, scout shorts
I've probably bloody met him, but anyway, went to Dulwich College, guys. He is extremely wealthy. He doesn't know anything about getting up at 4:30 in the morning either.
We need a modern-day Tony Benn. You're absolutely right, Rachel Picard. Look, and here's the thing: a lot of people will say that's what we had with Jeremy Corbyn. We did,
but he was not. He didn't have enough charm to go.
And I would also argue, that we can't just sort of retrofit this perfect idyll around Corbyn, because around the time of Brexit and everything, there was party politics shit going on. It's whenever party politics
no one
kicks
can be
in,
perfect.
No one can be perfect, but the party politics is what fucks things up. And it will never lead to anything authentic. And this is why these far-right individuals are kicking through.
Exactly. Farage went to Dulwich and then he was a banker. Like Trump was brought up in a billionaire's home. You know, for them to be competing about who knows more about working people.
Mika Mack has just gifted 10 memberships to those of you who are,
thank you, Mika
again,
Mack.
Of course, we were so ill, we couldn't do the Sunday show. You've got your cook along for the family friends, but family guests, you will be getting a Sunday show this coming Sunday. So welcome. And there's a back catalogue of all sorts of Sunday shows that you can go and check out.
Yeah.
So shall we have your funny?
And we'll be doing a little giveaway on this Sunday's live show to make up for us not being able to do it. You know that we don't do that unless things are absolutely really dire. we couldn't stand up. It was like, do we do it from lying on the sofa? It's like, no, we just couldn't.
So do you want to tee up this clip? This is the Miss Rachel clip.
Oh, this is just so lovely. Are we all right with hearing Miss Rachel in the background? There's no music there.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Look at this.
Hello. Can you say mama? Hi. Hello.
Stop thinking of your mom.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Hi. Hello.
Look at the legs. Look at the legs go. Oh my God.
Hi. Hello.
Oh.
Can you say mama?
Oh my God.
Hi.
Oh my God.
Hi. Hello.
Oh my God.
Hi. Hello. Can you say mama? Hi. Hello. Can you say mama? Mama.
Oh my God.
Dada. Let's sing it. Dada.
That little boy's blue eyes.
Maybe that's the sound we'll hear when we go to heaven.
Mama.
Ding, 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 hello.
And people say, oh, you shouldn't do those high voices and everything with kids. They love it.
We love
Why
Miss
shouldn't you?
Rachel.
We love Miss Rachel.
She's humanised Gazan children.
Yes. And they love Miss Rachel in Gaza. They love Miss Rachel.
But because she's humanised Gazan children, Israel will have you think she's Hamas.
Ridiculous.
Fucking mad.
So here we go for this wedding video.
Oh, yes. That's what I haven't seen.
Keep him. It's
Is it the best man that gives the ring?
Yes, it is. He did. What an absolute.
No,
plonk.
it wasn't his fault. He tripped.
I know, but for fuck's sake, watch your step. What a. If that was my best man, actually, I'd be
Let's
filming.
watch it again.
Yes, watch it.
keep him. It's
Oh my God.
Just listen for the first, oh my God. Not the second when it's most obvious, but the first.
faithful to him.
Oh, God. I love
Russ
that.
Ouch.
Oh, God.
Russ Ouch said it's fake. It is not fake. That
I must
is
admit,
not,
I thought that.
No, it is not fake.
Oh, God. Well, you know what always makes me think it could be? The guy who was filming, if they were all genuinely so shocked, your camera would. I've done this when I'm filming. Your natural reaction is for your hand to go down for a second.
You wouldn't have put that camera
for
down.
a second, because you're
Well,
like,
he
oh my
did. He
God.
went
This...
and he went around the side.
Yeah, okay.
No, it was.
Fake, says Sonia.
No, I do
Who thinks
not
it's
think...
fake? Who thinks it's real? I've got a very sore throat now.
Yeah, it just got me thinking, maybe we'll do this tomorrow. What's the most cringe thing that you could, because I don't think you would ever get over that video as long as you live.
Well,
So,
I hadn't even thought about it.
Think of what's your most cringe thing and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
So he said, what about the makeup? I hadn't thought about that. Makeup would just run.
Oh, everything would be just
Would it?
ruined.
You know what I'd do though? If it was me, if I was the bride, I'd get out and go, let's do it. Let's do it wet. I'd push him in and then get married. Okay.
What are we talking about?
I'd get out, push the groom in, and then say, let's all
fading.
get married naked. Not
fading.
naked, wet. Well, wet, naked. What's happened? All right, I'm going.
Thank you so much, guys. Hit the subscribe button and tell all your friends about us. And the Gaza video is coming next.
Tell all your